JPK is making it rain. JPK, big cheers, big dog. Let's go, JPK. Previously on KIMBA TV. In fact, I really don't think this $2,000, $3,000 range matters. I think the only thing that matters, brother, for me is value area high and value area low. What I would usually call this is retail arena. Losing money inside of value is so fucking stupid. So I don't know if there is a like definitive, you know, pound on the fist, hey, it's gonna go down or it's gonna go up. It's gonna bing bong ding dong inside of value area low and value area high. You know that, I know that, everybody in the world knows that. I guess Bybit is already out, but no, it would be as 118. Hands up. Let me just go through everybody real quick. Real Colorized. Were you here for the 16-hour stream yesterday? Hustler Fib Math says Pixel Perfect single Parention. Yes, that's the last thing that we talked about was, okay, well, you know, it didn't react at the single prints for ETH during ETH. So obviously the next thing that we were talking about is the single print during RTH. So ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? And then you know, can it get above settlement? So shout outs to everybody that was here. Shout outs to everybody that got caught up. Yesterday we did a 16. How many people made it? How many people missed it? Talk to me. Because I got to get everybody caught up. Lord Gaba, you good? Gustavo, you good? Barbizi, you good? Giannis, Flexi, Vladimir. Colorized Panda says, no, I was driving yesterday. Okay, got you. Well, the most important thing is exclamation dashboard. And make sure that you're signed up on the new. Okay? Because the stream schedule for this week is going to be here. What does this say for Tuesday tomorrow? So make sure that, and I'm going to be sending $100 on every single exchange to every single person over the next, 30, 60 days, however long it takes. And so make sure that your UID is in this bitch. And, yeah, just make sure that you're aware of the schedule. And this, you always want to check this because I might decide that I'm going to do a KIMBA After Dark on a Saturday, and I'll put it in here. Yeah. So exclamation dashboard. Make sure you're on the new. And we'll go from there. All right. And then this is going to be pretty cool. This is how you can like holla at me. All right. So exclamation dashboard, exclamation giveaway. Number one most important thing. All right. To basically just kind of get everybody caught up, as we finished the weekend price action and started to prepare for RTH Open, we said, all right, let's see what the single print for RTH does. We noted out a little bit on the difference between a ETH single print and a RTH single print. And so, very similar to a ETH gap, right? A lot of the times it will get, it won't really hold up. It'll close, but the RTH gap, dip the tip, all that stuff is a little bit easier to play. So the RTH single print came in, Pixel, and pretty much front ran the settlement by a couple bucks. And so that's it right now. Any questions? Everybody is kind of like at a very crucial level, ain't it? So let's let us up. I got to get caffeinated. Pumper Dave says, is that 3 p.m. Pacific? No, 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 no. This is localized to you. I'm on the West Coast right now, so it's PST. Pumper Dave. But log in yourself. It should localize to your own time. It's 3 p.m. if you're in Cali. TTV Strict, what's going on? Ghost SMP, what's going on? Lord Gaba, what's going on? Joker, what's going on? I1 Shim says, Kimba, could you help me? Absolutely. I'm looking at the level 117050, okay? For a short, do you think this is a valid resistance level? I1 Shim, you have told me nothing that would indicate you know what you're doing. All you did was you gave me a random number. So I say this every single day. I've been saying it every single day, multiple times a day for the last 4 years. We don't long or short a level. We long or short a reason to long or short, meaning edge. So do you know the 3 types of edge or the reasons that I would use to justify shorting or longing? I like structure. I like open interest. I like divergences, in particular CVD, but I'll take an RSI once in a while or even a MACD. And I also like S&P confluence. So if it goes to 117050 and the open interest looks bearish, the CVD divergence is bearish, the structure looks bearish, S&P also looks bearish, then we short.
You know, one thing
but if you think that trading is about finding a level and trying to predict that out of the millions of people that are trading around this world, right, that the sellers are going to win at that level, is like, you might as well go to a horse race or something. How about you can identify a level like that? By the way, I don't know if that is a good level. Yeah, you need to be able to tell me what kind of data would make you confirm or validate that it is bearish at 117050. All right. Did a fib. There is my golden pocket. Awesome. Do you know what types of levels I like? I1 Shim. I like 3 types of levels. I like volume-based levels. So that's what these lines are, right? Volume profile, value area high, point of control, value area low, right? This is why we drew it like this last night, right? So I like volume the most. Second, I like TPO, time-based levels. Why do you think it bounced right off of the CME RTH single print? All right. And last but not least, I like fibs. Now, I don't know if just pulling a fib, having one type of level is good enough to say that is a level of interest. But you got to learn, this on your own. And I think when you keep taking trades where you really only have just fib levels, they're not really reliable, brother. Yeah, but if single print lines up with a fib or settlement lines up with a fib, like at the golden pocket like this, or VWAP, lines up at X level, then I think you have confluence. So I think you're doing great. I1 Shim, my constructive criticism would be that I'm not sure if just pulling a fib is good enough for you to say that's a level of interest. And you still need to be able to say something about open interest, divergence, or structure to justify you taking a long or a short. Sounds good, I1 Shim. So that's probably what I would say. All right. So it should sound something more like this, I1 Shim. I found this level because it is CME settlement. It's also anchored VWAP, and it's also golden pocket. So Kimba, when it gets there, I'm going to look at the open interest and the CVD, okay? 3 hours later. Hey, Kimba, so it went to the level that I told you about. I'm looking at the CVD right now. I see a hidden CVD bear div, and I see a bunch of shorts that just got squeezed, and now there's top longs. S&P isn't quite at the level that I wanted it to reject from, but I think I'm going to start entering. What do you think about that? That is a good question, and I can actually help you. Does that make sense? That's the difference. That's where we got to get you to I1. Okay? Anything else you want to talk about, brother, to kind of get you caught up? And I don't know if you want to short, bro, but on Friday and Saturday and Sunday, we talked about this is SFP candidate and this is SFP candidate. And do you remember when I said this? I don't think you should really do a short until here. Maybe you could make an argument for the point of control. But were you here yesterday? I really tried to be careful with how I said it. But last night I made it very clear. Gentlemen, we're looking for longs. Ain't nobody fucking shorting here. I said, brothers, I had pixel perfect bottom long, right on that golden pocket, and I got stopped out. I basically got round tripped live. And there were all we were doing is just trying to figure out, is it worthy of a long? Should we take a long? Are we in a long? How do we re-enter if we get round tripped? How do we avoid getting round tripped? And we made it very clear that we're not looking for shorts down here. And so my whole thing is, I think this deviation out of value area low, and you got to go back and watch the whole stream, bro. You want to long when it leaves value area low. You want to short when it leaves value area high. So if I was thinking about this on higher time frame, the only easy short that I can see is maybe something like this where it comes back inside. Maybe you can make an argument for something like this, but I for sure wouldn't think about longing or shorting in between. I would just wait. I'm a big level to level guy. So you said you wanted a short here. For me, in between value area low and point of control, yeah, it could do something like this. But I think the easier longs and shorts are in these pivot points. I was saying the same things. There were people that was longing, trying to long this. And I was bro, longing right before the value area low is kind of goofy. What you want to actually wait until it deviates outside. So I don't know. It's kind of up to you. Okay? But for me, there's only two shorts that we've been talking about since the Friday stream and the Saturday stream. It was this imbalance getting cleaned or this imbalance getting cleaned. Go to TradingView, go to fixed range volume profile. You don't need to be pixel perfect, okay? Do you understand what we're trying to do? Bro, right here to all the way here. Find the volume profile for that. There's no way that you're going to tell me you need to learn how to figure out value area high and value area low. Brother, in fact, if you're telling me that, you can't be trading. I'm not trying to be mean. Besides, you're already juicing in a different way, don't you? Don't you feel it? You're already juicing, so don't rush it, my boy. But man, I feel like yesterday's stream was super, super juicy. There's so many little bits and pieces, you know, because we talk about it when somebody asks or it's happening live. But anyways, how y'all doing? Mick Runner says, can you show me your ETH? Sure. Let me give you the other chart so that you can see all the levels, right? That's what you want. This is what you want, ain't it? Do you know what I think about ETH? The long that I want is when this gets cleaned and we just do like basic ass, you know, bullish retest. Ain't nothing crazy about that, you know? I think if it is not gonna pixel fuck and if it's gonna go lower, then you're basically looking at the volume for this and the volume for this and the volume for this to see exactly like how low it could really go. I mean, this bitch could go all the way down to like 3,800 and it really shouldn't freak you out. Obviously, if you have super high leverage, it's gonna fuck you up. But yeah, like maybe like the 0.5 is maybe like tolerable, but I think anything, you know, like we talk about, if it goes to golden pocket, you have neutralized bullish edge. So probably don't want to do that. This would be ideal. Yeah, but this is headed to 5,000. So, you know, the higher time frame idea, brother, is September 17th. I think we get rate cuts. If we get rate cuts, depending on where we are and how the markets are moving, you know, it could be the sign of altcoin season. So that's the higher time frame concept. Now, the medium kind of time frame thing is markets might be pricing in rate cuts, which means that for some reason in the next 2-3 weeks, if we really pump, like Bitcoin heads to 130, which I'm hoping it does after this is claimed and this is claimed. If this is claimed, I mean, I think we're good. Yeah. So if we do this, I guess. If this is support, 130, I think, is like 80% probability. So.
Anything's possible. Anything's possible.
Yeah. So maybe if you really are bearish, you can take that. So that and that is probably, if you really wanted to think about head shorting or shorting, is your best levels. And I want to short this guy. Or thinking about it. Thinking about it.
You know, one thing my trainer, he told me, he said,
but
what did he say? He just told us to be prepared.
If it does this, then Bitcoin's going to go to 130. ETH will go to 5,000, all that Gucci. But yeah, in general, like I would love to see an SFP of that, and I will take that. Lions. Let me. What do you guys think about this? They playing with us. Amino Noob says, any soul panic levels? No. Here's where we're at. Let's go like 4 hour. So first things first. This is the anchored VWAP for the impulse, right? So are we above or below? So Amino Noob, if this wasn't the weekend, yeah, it would have been. However, structure. So what I would really love is for this to be able to get above here. If it can't, then it's probably going to try to, aim for shit like here. And Bitcoin is probably getting rejected similarly, at point of control. You got a shot? Now, if you're like, bro, I've gotten $10,000 from you over the last 4 years and I have nothing to show for it, then yeah, that's kind of funky. But nah, don't even trip, Ayo Gains. Definitely, don't start playing mind games with yourself. All your brain power, your attention, your focus should be on preparation, looking at charts. This week, I challenge you to feel zero emotion while you're trading. Especially any sort of weird, sort of like angry at yourself or feeling sorry for yourself type of shit. Don't do that at all this week, no matter what happens. So I'll try to do my best to hook you up and, give you as much giveaways as I can, brother. So, at least, take it day by day, trade by trade, hour by hour. Don't look at the whole week, We have 39 minutes until Macaulay. Do you have a position right now, Ayo Gains? Do you want to get into a position? Because I can tell you exactly, if you tell me, bro, I really want to take a short, just like how I was helping the other dude, I could tell you where I would think about scalp shorting. I think you can kind of figure out that I don't get bullish on penetration. I get bullish on retest. So I think that already kind of tells you, hey, if you don't think those lows are going to get swept, you kind of know where the bullish retest would be. So there's a scalp long and a scalp short. As always, that's not the hard part. The hard part is, bro, you're going to be going into Macaulay Culkin hour. CME is going to be paused. Do you want to trade or not? And if you don't want to trade during Macaulay, then we've already talked about, did settlement close above or below? Right? And then what would be a bullish way that it could have a gap, and what would be a bearish way that it could have a gap? And then if it is a bullish gap or if it is a bearish gap, what would be a bullish or a bearish reaction to those gaps? And so that alone already kind of guides you for the next 2-3 hours. I don't have any positions, but I have my levels marked and I'm looking to get in on Sol. Okay, so okay, so with Sol, it's kind of like if you don't think that's going to get cleaned, this is kind of it. And the only thing that you really have to worry about is like Macaulay, I guess. It's almost identical to Bitcoin. Yeah, and I would still, just like Bitcoin, even if this does some sort of like a swaggity swang, you have to get back above that anyways. Yeah, but at least if you're gonna be aggressive with the long, you can do this. You can do this. And, regardless of what you end up doing, your stop loss is right here. So, do you want to take it during Macaulay? Yes or no? Because then that gives you the next 90 minutes to think about how you want to do this. How much time are you going to allow to spend below that line? And then if that long doesn't work, Ayo, you really don't have to worry about a long until somewhere in here. And really be looking at this one. The easiest plays I've been able to get are during market open, so I'm looking for those levels lower. Okay. Yeah, like 172, 174. I will be back after Cage's JV. Yeah. What do you think about the subathon thing? Holy fuck, dude. My OCD wasted 40 minutes while me and Gypsy fucking battled over fucking a pixel. Dude, I was losing my goddamn mind. I'm juicing. For me to be able to answer that, the best case, do we make a higher high? Yes or no? How much time do we spend above the value area low? You know, do we do this or do we do this? You know, do we do this? And how long is this? What does the open interest look like there? And what does the open interest look like there? What does this, is there a divergence here? This is on the 30-minute. Like, you don't think that's possible? So, still a long ways to go, AO. Do you see it? You have like a higher time frame trident. Can you see through all this bullshit? Can you see it, brother?
Anything's possible. Anything's possible.
I hardly use CVD because I'm always on my phone. That is a horrible excuse. I say that like out of love. I can use my laptop here and there, but I need a problem seeing the divs play out in the moment. Okay, well, we're going to be doing a subathon. You have a whole week to harass me as much as you want. Is that a div? Is that a div? Is that a CVD div? Is that a CVD div? Holla at me. At least we got to see this shit together and I explained it to you, yes? I pointed out each one. I asked you if you knew what the difference between a hidden and a regular was. I explained why it's a continuation, why you have a higher low. So, if it's a horrible excuse, why do you say that? Because it's such important data that, like, there's just because you're on your phone doesn't mean that you can't see CVD. That's what I mean. I think it's such an important piece of information, you know, that you even if you are always on your phone, you got to figure something out. Or do you use Coinalyze on mobile? Is it just really that fucked up? Or I think it's just a matter of how important is that data to you and how far would you be willing to go to make sure that you have access to that data. Ayo Gaines, I don't want to push it too much because Cage is waiting to do his thing. And now that we got all of the testing done, I'm going to hand it off to Cage because I couldn't test when his thing is going on. So I want you guys to kind of enjoy Who Wants to Be a Kim Billionaire. And then I'll be back when he's done. Yeah, and then we can regroup and we can kind of see what it did. And then, like, if there's like a hidden bear div, maybe we can look at it together. What do you say? All right, y'all. Longers, I'm rooting for you. Shoulders, I'm rooting for you. Bulls, Bears, we're all Lions. You guys are the fucking best. Give it up for Cage. Lions, can I get a cut? Yeah.